Tim Lauer here with the Tim Lauer Podcast. We are coming to you live from Island Time Studios. We got a special guest with us today, owner of Gulf Coast Security, Patric Landrum.
Thanks, Tim. Glad to be here.
Welcome to the show, Patric. How you doing this morning?
Doing well. Doing very well.
Cool. Awesome. Well, let's start off. Tell us a little about yourself.
So I am born and raised in Texas, but my family's here from Magnolia Springs. I've been back and forth all my life. I've been here permanently since 2010. I moved to the area to take care of my mother as she was in her last years. And so I started, I got into security kind of by default. I got a job at one of the properties that we actually service now as a client, part-time, and I moved my way up into the, I went from the site as a regular employee to a site supervisor to end up, when I left there, I was director of security operations. The youngest person in the company to hold a title of that way.
Wow.
Went a different venture, went to a bigger company, ran everything from Pensacola to South Florida for 2 years, and decided I'm not doing it anymore. I didn't want to travel, so came back here. I met two business partners that I formed Gulf Coast Security with back in 2020. We took off January 13th of 2021 and never hit the ground solid yet.
Cool.
So we're doing good. I mean, I do own Gulf Coast Security by myself now.
Okay.
Both of my partners have ventured out to different things, and so
Cool.
I'm here still tagging along.
Awesome. And you guys are picking up quite a few properties this year.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about everything you do. Do you do event security? Do you do condos? Do you do personal security? All the above?
So we do a little bit of, we're kind of that one-stop shop. I offer a variety of services. We basically meet with the client. What are their needs? What best fits their property, their clientele, and every property is different. Some properties need maybe roving patrols. Some may need on-site security. Some may need both, and we have all that.
Okay.
This time of year right now, a lot of it's on-site for spring break and things like that. But when we get past Labor Day weekend, it slows down. So they may transition from having on-site and roving to just strictly roving patrols. And with roving patrols is 3 to 4 random patrols a night in our marked vehicle. Where our lights, they'll force parking, lock the pools, unlock pools, and just have some kind of security presence on the property for a time frame.
Okay. Awesome. So being in the security business, what are some of the challenges? What are some of the startup challenges?
So of course the startup challenge is, it's a long process. You have to, you can't just anybody start up a security company. You have to have a certain criteria and background to, so we have what they call a Alabama State Regulatory Board. So to own it, to be a QA, which is a qualified agent for the company, you have to have so many years of background in it. And so luckily, I serving on the fire department and being in security for so long that I have that experience I needed to become a QA. But it's just, main thing is, getting the clientele.
Yeah.
I mean, we started off with just 2 or 3 properties, and I worked full time, my partners worked full time, and we would come to the office and run our business and then go work and vice versa, until we were able to step away from our full-time jobs to focus full on the company.
Awesome. Cool. How is it, what do you look for in your security guards when you're hiring?
So we look for, of course, dependability, credibility. They got to be self-motivated. Have to be, sometimes we're not able to, they don't have a lot of oversight in security. Because if we have 25, 30 properties we have to get to every day, it's kind of rough. And so somebody that's self-motivated, someone that's has customer service based, security is a very serious thing. But a lot of our job in security is customer service.
Yep.
We're normally the first thing and the last thing people see when they enter or exit a property.
That's right.
It's all about your first impressions of everything. And so they have to look, dress well, have to present themselves well, they have to speak intelligently, things like that. And some of these things that we can teach because we have we train within our company.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Great. So what are some of your what's some of your advice for entrepreneurs that are looking to start their own business?
Learn the business. Come out, learn it, study it. I would tell you that if there's some things I learned the rough way. I learned the old-fashioned way. I didn't learn some things until I got into it. I would say study, do your research, talk to individuals like myself and other security company owners who's been in the business and have overcome the trial and tribulations that we have experienced. Like right now, staffing. That's the hardest part. And so we had to be, we had to be creative and come up with ways to obtain employees and retain, such as, incentives, as in things we do on a monthly basis, like employee of the month or in quarter. And so I would say just look outside of your wheelhouse and see what information you can grasp before taking off, because the business is not easy. Well, just any business, Jimmy, you know that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. As a business owner, you gotta work hard, press hard. It's not as easy as we make it look,
Some days I make it look a lot easier than it really is. I would tell you that, and my staff would tell you the same thing. They're like, some days, how do you keep going? It's just you have to have drive.
Yeah,
you have to have the drive nowadays.
I agree. And
that's the main thing is we're trying to store in our employees. Have the integrity, have the drive. I mean, things in life are not going to come easy. Yeah, like your sign, it's beast mode, and you have to be the beast mode. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, when did you realize that you were an entrepreneur?
So, I've always been, since I was a little kid, I've always been a go-getter. I worked, my grandfather had hay fields and things like that. And my parents, we were fortunate growing up. Our parents were successful. My mother was a nurse. My dad was he worked in the oil field. So we had a good life. And they stored the values in me to, if you want something like work for it, it's about your needs, not your wants. And so I quickly learned that if you want something in life, you have to work for it. And nothing feels better to me to reaching that goal of, hey, I finally got there. I finally obtained what I've been working for. And that's why Gulf Coast Security is here. I wanted something of my own. I went up and down the Gulf Coast making millions of dollars for other companies, running companies, and I wanted to do something myself. I wanted to bring what in store to me to the Gulf Coast.
Awesome. What are some things, how important is networking in business?
I think networking is very important. I think that, I go back to the old saying, you can't teach your old dog new tricks, and you can. I go and I am in rooms with yourself and people who have a lot more experience. It may not be in the field that I'm in.
Yeah.
But networking is good anywhere, because it all takes is one deal to turn into 10 more deals, or one lead to turn into 10 deals. And so I think it's very important to network, whether it's in your field or it's not. You never know what it can turn into, because you never know. I've learned on the Gulf Coast, you never know who knows who.
Yeah.
And what can turn out to be a great thing for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Cool. How do you nail down properties?
So I will tell you that we are not into advertising.
Yeah.
Paying for advertising. I do all of our social media posts myself.
Awesome.
Along with some of our team members, we get involved in events like Foley Parade, Mardi Gras Parade. We support the fire department event in Mountain Springs. We get involved in community. And a lot of our leads came word of mouth. And I truly believe that's the best advertising you can ever have. If you do a job well done here, you're going to succeed here. And I will tell you the properties that we picked up we picked up 4 in the last 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and it's all been word of mouth. Wow. And I will tell you, I had one of them who told me when I bid on it, no, and then give it to me. Give it to us as a team. Yeah. Give it to us, and it makes me feel rewarding, because I kept pushing and kept pushing and kept pushing, and we're not a pushy company. Hey, if you tell us no, we're fine with that.
Yeah.
But we'll be there, and I'll make sure follow up is very important. I'll tell you, just because in sales you may get 100 no's, but on that 101 time you may get that yes that you've been wanting to get, and it's been that way.
That's right.
I chased a property recently for almost 2 years and finally landed it.
Now that makes it that much sweeter.
It did. And I told them, hey, it took us a long time. We finally got here though, and it's one of the best properties we have.
Cool. I love what you said about community. It's so important to be instilled, be a part of the community, and give back to the community. And I believe that the community contributes to your success.
Absolutely. I mean, there's nothing better than community outreach. And I feel that you give to the community gives back to you in more ways than one. And I feel that, that's why we will never be corporate. We will always be, I call ourselves a boutique security agency.
Okay.
We don't want to be corporate. We don't want to be big. We're probably never, I was thinking about venturing into Florida here for a while. Then I say, I'm going to serve nothing but Baldwin County.
Okay.
Maybe eventually to go into Mobile County, but more likely there's enough work here.
Yeah. And
we have built a platform here, and we instill in our morals that we do not want to be the biggest. We want to be the best.
Awesome.
And I feel like that when you expand outside your reach, then that's when you lose credibility, or you lose the level of service that you want to maintain.
Absolutely. So speaking of them goals, what are some of your 5-year goals?
I would like to, of course, I'm young, so I still I want to grow Gulf Coast Security more and more and more, and maybe break off into some different caveats, offer some different departments. I thought about getting into some private investigation, asset recovery, things like that. Right now, our platform is basically roving patrols, on-site security, and we do event security. I thought about getting into some other caveats, but I'm not sure. I'm just right now we're focused on 2023 and closing it out good, and we'll see what 2024 brings for us.
Cool. How do you balance work life and home life?
It's I guess I take work home a lot. I do, and I try. I'm a big family person, and I have animals. I rodeo.
Okay.
Well, I should say I used to rodeo. I don't rodeo as much as I want to anymore. Too busy. But I have 3 horses and 2 calves at the house and stuff, and I wish I had more time with them. And sometimes, but they're like my kids, and so I have to work to provide for them. They're not cheap, and
that's right.
I try to balance the two. Sometimes I feel like I'm a better worker than a family man, and sometimes I feel like I'm a better family man than a worker sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find the even ground, but I'm not there yet.
Okay. Yeah. That's always a challenge for entrepreneurs because
it is
so passionate at what you do and want to be successful that it's hard to balance.
We're all in. My hands in everything.
Yeah.
I have great members of our staff. I have a director of operations who's great. I have an office manager who's great. We have a training manager who's great in the field, but I still have, and they can do their job without my help, but I'm still involved in everything. It's because this is my passion, and I feel like that. I don't want to be that owner who gets complicit and not involved.
That's right.
And I'll tell them sometimes, don't check your emails, don't answer phone calls after hours. Then I'll turn around and do the same thing. I'll answer an email, respond at midnight, and so it goes back to taking care of the client.
Yeah,
And
that's right.
Sometimes I have to learn that we can't always respond immediately. We can't, sometimes we have to filter is it an emergency or if it's something that could be wait until a later time. Or the next morning.
That's right. A lot of times I find out that I did the same thing. I'd have to slow down on my response time, and what would happen is by the time I did finally respond, they had already figured it out themselves.
Right.
So it kind of, empowered other people to know.
That's how it goes. And we instill that in our staff sometimes too. It's the same thing goes with our staff.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to pick up the phone and call the manager on duty or one of us to get a solution. I'm like, nope. Hey, have you went through the steps? Have you thought about it? Have you came up with a solution? Have you tried the solution? If not, then come to us.
That's right.
And let's walk you through. Because I'm going to ask you all these steps that you do it.
Yeah.
So, and that's empowering them more to make decisions.
Big time. So, when you said rodeo, I imagine Patric on a bull, riding a bull. What did you do at the rodeo?
So I actually team roped.
Okay, yeah. Team rope. Oh, cool. With the big lasso catching calves?
I did.
Okay.
I did. I rodeoed from probably I was the age of, I don't know, I probably did go rope at the age of 5.
Okay.
And I rodeoed almost all my life. And then I stopped for a while and I started back probably 3 years ago.
Okay.
But with a business, it's really hard because rodeoing is not as big as it is. I'm from Lexington, Texas. It's a lot bigger. It's rodeo down there every weekend.
Yeah.
Here is, we went to one in Robertsville last weekend, but it's not as big down here as it is down there. But of course, I just don't have the time either.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You ever think of using that in your marketing, like lassoing some guy at a condo?
I thought about doing something because there's definitely some times we could probably lasso something for spring break. That's for sure. Yeah.
Perfect timing for it.
Right. So I should maybe talk to the staff about that for sure. That's a good tactic now.
It would definitely it would be clickbait. It would be viral for sure.
Right.
So with social media, what all do you do?
Our biggest platform is Facebook.
Okay.
Honestly, I don't really understand Twitter a lot and Instagram yet. I'm working on it. But we have a website. Our website, we're trying to enhance it. But our Facebook, we post every morning. And at least every morning.
Great.
And then throughout, and sometimes they're preset, or sometimes I do it that morning. And then I post probably 2 or 3 times throughout the day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
And so and for my own marketing, I feel like it's doing pretty good.
Yeah.
We get some really good hits. We get a lot of likes and a lot of views. And so I feel like it's I don't have a marketing degree. Everything has just been reading, studying, and following other entrepreneurs who came before me.
Yeah, awesome. So what keeps you motivated day to day? What drives Patric?
My team. I have a great team, and I'm gonna tell you right now, and in this day and age, to say that, to have a good team, it's hard.
Yeah.
But our team has been through, we started this business in COVID.
Yeah.
And we went through there, and and then we're still trying to, going through a pandemic, and then to where we're at now, where we thought the recruitment would get better. We thought the job pool would get better. It's better than it was.
Yeah.
But we're still not back to where we were pre-COVID.
Gotcha.
And so, but my staff, I have a tremendous staff. I can never thank them enough. And that's from the entry level to leadership. And they're all wonderful people to work with.
Great. So if there's people out there watching that want to be security full-time, part-time, how do they get in contact with you?
Just call our office.
Reach
our Gulf Coast Security office. We're open Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4:30. You can schedule an in-person interview. Just call 251-215-9970 or email us at info@gcsecurity.org.
Cool. Awesome. And you're still, you looking for a good amount of people right now? So we're ramping up for
security's a job that we'll always have something. We're a year-round company that has something, and there's probably a position I can fill right now. Several of them. It could be part-time, full-time, weekends. We have beach patrol. We have a pool guard. We have a security rover, and we have on-site security shifts from 7 o'clock in the morning to overnights to mid-shift. Everything. 10-hour shift, 12-hour shifts. We have it all.
Cool, man. Beach patrol, hanging out at some of the best condos in the world.
Yeah, beach
running
patrol.
Security. That doesn't sound like much like a hard life to live.
And it's we have beach patrol at Romar House in Orange Beach, one of the villas of properties we have.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's a great property. Yeah. So it's great. And it's 8 to 2. So hey, if you're interested, come apply 7 days a week. Well, so apply with us and we'll put you to work.
Cool. What else do you want people to know about you, Patric?
Hey, I instill myself on this. Hey, what you see is what you get. I'm cut from different cloth. I may not always be there, but I'm always somewhere.
Cool.
That's I enjoy what I do. I love what I do. I love the Gulf Coast, and I tell everybody, Gulf Coast Security was built here on the Gulf Coast, supported by the Gulf Coast, here for the Gulf Coast.
That's awesome. I love seeing entrepreneurs like yourself out there doing great things, doing big things. I see you all the time when I drive by or online or whatever, and you're always working, hustling, calling somebody, taking care of business. I don't think you slow down. You just, I'll never even see you sit down, I don't think. So you just keep moving.
Right, and I am big on, I'm big on within my own business, but I'm also big on supporting other local businesses. We all have to stick together. We're all trying to get the same objective. It's to serve our community employ people, and make sure people are taken care of here on the Gulf Coast.
That's right. Well, cool, man. I really appreciate you being on the
Yes,
show
sir, I
today.
appreciate it.
Had a great time. I hope you did too.
Oh, absolutely.
Cool.
Yep.
Anything you need, give Patric a call for all your security needs, or if you're looking for a job, he's got you covered. My man.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for being on
All
today.
right. Thank you.
Cool.